Getting a German Shepherd could completely change your life, but not in the way you might expect. Before you bring home one of these incredible dogs, there are some things that no one really talks about, things that could totally surprise you. I remember before I got my German Shepherd, I used to think a couple of short walks would be enough for any dog. But here's the thing, German Shepherds aren't like most dogs. When I first brought mine home, I realized quickly that a 10-minute walk wasn't cutting it. He'd still have loads of energy and would start getting into things around the house. If you're someone who's not naturally super active, you'll need to change that. The best solution I found was creating a routine. I'd start the day with a long walk or run and then add in some playtime in the afternoon. Throwing a ball around in the yard or even playing tug-of-war inside kept him happy and calm. Getting them to burn off all that energy helps prevent destructive behavior around the house. Before I got my German Shepherd, I never thought about dogs getting bored, but after a couple of weeks, I noticed my dog getting restless, even after a ton of exercise. He'd start chewing things up, and it was clear he was getting frustrated. What I didn't realize at the time was that he needed more than just physical activity. He needed mental stimulation too. The solution? Training and puzzle toys. I started teaching him new tricks and commands every day, and it made a huge difference. I also got him a couple of puzzle toys where he has to figure out how to get the treats inside. These things kept his brain busy and helped with his overall behavior. When my German Shepherd started barking at every person who walked by our house, I realized how protective they can be. At first, it was a bit overwhelming, especially because I didn't want him to be aggressive toward people. I wanted him to protect us, but I also didn't want him to scare off friends or neighbors. The key to solving this was socialization. I made sure to introduce him to different people and dogs in a controlled environment. This helped him understand that not everyone is a threat. By taking him to the park and having friends over often, he learned how to be friendly but still protective when it's needed. I'll admit, I wasn't prepared for the amount of fur I'd be dealing with when I got my German Shepherd. I thought brushing him every once in a while would be fine. But after finding dog hair on everything, my couch, my clothes, even in my food, I realized I had to step up my grooming game. The fix: regular brushing. I now brush him a few times a week, and during shedding season, it's pretty much a daily thing. It's honestly not as bad as it sounds. Plus, it keeps the house cleaner and makes my dog feel better too. Regular baths and nail trimming are also part of the routine. But brushing is the big one when it comes to German Shepherds. At first, I didn't realize how attached my German Shepherd would become. I thought he'd be like a regular dog, happy to have his own space and chill by himself. But nope, he followed me everywhere. Like, everywhere. He wanted to be involved in everything I did, even if I just went to the kitchen for a glass of water. It got a little overwhelming because I wasn't used to having a dog so attached. The solution? I learned to embrace it. German Shepherds love being close to their families, and it's actually one of the best things about them. I started giving him attention when he was calm and relaxed, and this helped him understand that he didn't always need to follow me. I also made sure to give him his own space, a comfy bed where he could go to relax on his own. When my German Shepherd was a puppy, I didn't realize how much he would test boundaries. He was always trying to figure out what he could get away with, which can be frustrating if you're not used to a dog who's this confident. It was clear he needed structure, but at first I didn't know how to provide that. The best way to solve this is to establish yourself as a strong leader. It doesn't mean being harsh, but it does mean being consistent. I started setting clear rules and sticking to them, using positive reinforcement when he did something right. German Shepherds need to know you're in charge because if they don't feel that, they'll try to take control. Consistent training and a confident attitude really made a difference. I remember being super excited about getting my German Shepherd, but hadn't really thought much about the long-term health issues that might come up. Not until I learned about common problems like hip dysplasia, which is pretty common in the breed. The idea of my dog being in pain or having trouble moving when he got older was scary. The good news is you can do things to help prevent some of these issues. First, make sure you're getting your dog from a responsible breeder who screens for genetic problems. Then, focus on keeping your dog healthy with proper exercise, a good diet, and regular vet checkups. It's also important to keep an eye on their weight because carrying extra pounds can make joint problems worse. I wasn't too worried about my German Shepherd being around kids, but I was definitely cautious at first. He's a big dog, and I didn't want him accidentally knocking over a child or being too rough. He's naturally protective, and I wanted to make sure he'd be gentle with kids. Socialization was the key. I started introducing him to kids in calm, controlled situations, making sure he understood how to behave around them. Over time, he became super gentle and patient. Now he's great with kids. Just remember to supervise your dog, especially when they're still learning how to interact with little ones. If you have any questions or thoughts, drop a comment below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more.